Vikings seem to be done signing undrafted rookies, so I think it's about time where I can finally break them all down. All 12, in fact, that the Vikings have signed, and decide which of these young rookies can make the team, which ones can find a spot on the practice squad, and which ones will just be there as a camp body. So let's get right into it. And let's start off with undrafted rookie number 1, Brady Aleo. He's a tackle out of Oregon. He's a 6'7", 311-pound behemoth of a guy. He's played 48 career games, 25 starts at every spot on the offensive line, which is kind of great. And you see that on this list a lot with these offensive linemen, is his versatility. So that will help him maybe niche a spot, and that's really what he's going to have to prove, that he's a good backup everywhere, and there's always a spot for people like that. But I'm going to say he's probably not going to be good enough, and just will be there as a camp body. Number 2 is Jake Bargas. He's a tight end in college, but the Vikings have him listed as a fullback. He's from North Carolina. He's a 6'2", 250-pound dude, so really big for a fullback. And he played 48 career games, and it was, like I said, a blocking tight end. He only got 21 career catches for 189 yards in school, and he played some special teams throughout his college career. So I think that might warrant a spot for that emergency backup fullback spot that the Vikings like to have for a practice spot role. But this guy, it just doesn't seem like he's a Kari blasting game. He ain't no blasting game. So I think he'll probably just be a camp body. But out of these fullbacks, spoiler, or these tight end / fullbacks, I think he has the best chance. But I don't see him making any part of this team. Will just be a camp body. Moving to number 3. The most intriguing piece, I think, in this entire selection of undrafted rookies is Dan Chisena. He's a wide receiver out of Penn State. He's listed at 6'3", 202 pounds. This dude runs a 4.3 40. You're looking at that. Oh, size, speed. It'd be nice if he had any production. He only played 14 games where he got 3 catches for 66 yards. But he was given a reward at Penn State for being an outstanding special teams player. So I do like that at least. So I really think this dude has a really solid chance for the practice squad. It's hard to turn down guys with that size and speed combo. And then he's already a good special teams player. So he even has a chance to make a roster kind of based off that. You could even say him directly competing with our 6th round rookie, I believe KJ Osborne, as that reserve wide receiver that mainly plays special teams. But I think where his destination will be is the practice squad, and hopefully he can mature a little bit and be kind of settle into maybe an Aldrich Robinson type of a role, because that's just a spot you need on these NFL teams. Even if he just catches 10 balls a year, if they're all 20-yard passes, that's enough of a threat where defenses have to respect him. So I like that combo, and very great signing, and hopefully he can at least show some fireworks in preseason and will land on this practice squad. Could be a guy that gets sniped for some of these other teams like the Raiders that just love speed and height. So looking forward to that, and definitely a guy I'm looking out for. Next is Naveal Clark, cornerback, UCF, teammate of our number 1 corner, Mike Hughes, in college. He's 6'1", 187 pounds, and Clark is a really good press man corner, struggles in zone. He's pretty good against the run, could be a little bit better, but what he's the best at, he's kind of has a nose for football. Very good ball skills. He has 13 pass deflections, 11 breakups, and 2 interceptions, and he just has that nose for the football, and I think there's a role for him. I don't know if he'll be able to make the team, because the Vikings Yeah, we lost 3 corners, but we drafted 3 in this last draft. So Clark will have a tough time making the team, and he might be too good to land on our practice squad, and could be a great candidate for another team. But maybe their number 4 cornerback tears their ACL, so they snipe Clark when the Vikings try to land him on our practice squad. But I do think that is his best case scenario is landing with the Vikings on their practice squad. Moving on to Courtney Davis, the guy in the thumbnail, the next Adam Thielen. Not really. Let's get to why I clickbaited you real quick, but he was a wide receiver at Texas A&M. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. He had 99 receptions for 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns in his 24 games. And what you see on tape, he's another good middle of the field, good short, 8 to about 12-yard pass catcher. He has really good length for his size, so I really like his chance for making the team as just another underneath guy. Yeah, he doesn't really remind me of Adam Thielen, just, the undrafted part, but what he reminds me of on the field is our free agent signing this year, Tajay Sharp, as a good middle of the field, maybe number 3 ceiling for this guy, and I think there's always a spot for that on these teams. So I think he has a really good shot of making the team, but what it's coming down to is whether or not the Vikings want to keep 6 wide receivers, or if we're going to get 4 tight ends, or keep an extra running back, something like that. And that's what he's going to be really competing with, is some of these other position groups guys. Because I don't see a reason why he's not straight away wide receiver 5 on the Vikings. Of course, KJ Osborne is going to make a spot in front of him because he'll probably be the punt returner, so he's already got the roster spot basically. So he's going to have to be wide receiver 6 roster-wise, and it's going to be tough to be able to swing that. So either way, he won't see a lot of production most likely for the team, but I think he's a really good chance, and let's just say he'll make the team, but hopefully the Vikings don't go elsewhere with roster cuts. But I like the chance making the team, so let's move on to Miles Dorn, safety, North Carolina, 6'2", 205. He had 241 tackles and 6 interceptions and 21 pass deflections in his 46 games where he had 33 starts. You see him as he's constantly getting production. Those are good numbers, but what his big thing is in college, he just wasn't very consistent. He has some games where he just looks horrible, and some games where he looks like a good, solid draft pick. So it's hard to say how good he's really going to be, but you see his frame, 6'2", 205. And I think, maybe he's a potential big nickel. Can he do that Jaron Curse role? Because he just has to do one thing. Can he be good at it? And that's what I think he's going to come down to. I think the Vikings are so slim at safety, his chances of landing on a practice squad are very, very good, and that's where he's going to go. And he might even have a chance to make the team if he can play big nickel, but I think he'll probably need at least 1 year to get good at that enough to make the team. So practice squad now, and maybe be on the roster maybe even by the middle of the year. So it's interesting to watch. Another guy is Jordan Fair. And when we get to his measurables in a second, you'll see why some offensive players might say he's not fair. But he's a linebacker from Appalachian State. He's 6'3", 230 pounds. And these measurables I was talking about, this dude is insane. He can bench 415 pounds. Easy. Little light numbers. He runs a 4.45 40. And he's a 40.5-inch vertical. That is pretty insane for a dude that's listed as a linebacker. That'd be good that'd be insane for basically anyone to have great things at all 3. So this is Adam Zimmer go crazy. If this kid can do anything well as a football player, that's great. And also, he wasn't just a good, athletic dude. He had a 3.77 GPA in 2019. This dude's smart too. So I don't even care if his major was bowling. I think GPA that high and his measurables, and that's such a great combination to work with. So I think he's a really good candidate for the practice squad. And he's going to be another one that could get sniped by another team if he's flashy enough in preseason. But I really like him as maybe an Eric Wilson type player in the future. Moving on to a blocking tight end, and that is Nakia Griffin-Stewart, tight end from Pittsburgh. He's 6'5", 260. And he started 12 of 13 games in his one season with Pittsburgh, where they had 19 catches, 185 yards. So he's one of those guys who will have to prove that he's a good enough blocker to make that role. And like I said, the Vikings would be a team where we could carry 4 tight ends, and we still have a roster spot open for a premier blocking tight end. That we lost with David Morgan this year when we released him, and we've had like every single year beforehand, with whether it was Rhett Ellison before or Jim Kleinsasser a really long time ago. The Vikings could definitely be in a spot for it, but I don't see him being good enough for that role. But hey, prove me wrong. But for now, he's just a camp body. Next is Tyler Higbee, guard, Michigan State, 6'5", 300 pounds, and he played 43 games, made 30 starts, and he played 3 different offensive line positions: guard, tackle, and center. So another versatile offensive lineman. That's cool and all, but probably just a camp body. Moving on is a center, Jack Lucina, from Augustana, Minnesota College, St. Paul. Same college, he blocked for C.J. Ham, Vikings fullback, which is cool and all. He started all 45 games he played for in Augustana, and he won a reward, the Remington Award, for the best center in Division II football, which is cool, but best center in Division II football probably just means a good camp body. Moving on to linebacker Blake Lynch, from Baylor, 6'3", 225, and this dude is just a football player. He made 32 career starts at 5 different positions: corner, linebacker, safety, and even some receiver and running back, which is just insane. He started off 14 games at linebacker in 2019, where he got 134 tackles, 13 and a half tackles for a loss, and 6 sacks, 3 interceptions, 12 pass deflections, and a block kick. And he caught 51 passes for 673 yards and 4 touchdowns on offense from 2016 and 2017. So if you want a guy that can just do it all, man, this guy really can. And he shows all those traits where he can run the ball and he can catch the ball on offense, and he's a good enough tackler. So this is another one where Adam Zimmer can just go crazy. He's got to be just salivating over this undrafted rookie pool and how great and talented his linebackers that he got without having to spend a draft pick on him. So I think he'll probably be in direct competition with the other undrafted linebacker, but I think it's the world where they're both making the practice squad, so that's what I'm going to do here. Next is David Moa, and there'll be no Moa draft picks after this one. He's the last undrafted rookie. Defensive tackle out of Boise State, 6'3", 296 pounds. A rare 6-year player in college. He's played 1 game in 2018, redshirting his freshman year in 2014. And he started 38 out of 46 games, where he had 90 tackles, 11 and a half sacks, and he led the team with 8 and a half in 2016. Just a lot of production. He was also a team captain, so a lot to like there. A good leader on the field, good production, and you like to see him improve. So I think he's a guy that a good 3-tech option for the team. The Vikings are so needing a 3-tech, a good pass rushing defensive tackle. I'm not sure he's going to be not good enough to make the team, but I like his chances for the practice squad. But there we have it. The Vikings broke records for draft picks, and now we somehow still got good enough undrafted rookies that they could still even make the team, which is just ridiculous. So just a complete overhaul of young talent on this team. Give me your thoughts. Give me your favorite undrafted rookie in the comment section down below, and go crazy on the guys that I said are just camp bodies. And we'll see you guys in the next video. See you Vikings video. See you guys then.